Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 45 of Firemind. Well, actually, it's episode 48, but due to a tragic technical issue, we have lost a bit of footage. We did miss out on a couple of little things. Let's start with the outcome of the Ulm Wars we left out there. So, after our miners have chipped away the rock at these coastlines here, there has been not much fighting anymore. These critters, they stayed mostly under the water. There have been no more new reinforcements from their side. These 7 guys here are pretty much the last that we saw of them. So far, nobody attacked any of our people anymore that were harvesting almanite down here. So we are safe on that end. Down in the dark depths below, the adamantine mining goes on and on and on. We have cleared out this entire level here in the last 2 episodes, and now breaching deeper, we have large cavities of water and magma, and it's getting harder and harder for us to just keep our game going as before, as we are now hitting the underground oceans, and we're using now more and more buckets to quench the eternal flames, as this will eventually free us up some space that we can work with. As soon as the magma level here has been lowered enough to evaporate the stuff, we're just there. There's been a lot of losses in the war against the cave dwellers, and we've refilled all of our ranks. I also have spruced up the tombs here a little bit, and we have now... I think this place here needs to be made... I need to make it bigger soon. That's one thing that I'm quite fond of. So there's a lot of dead people these days, and Firemind does attract by now also its first ghosts. These receive their blessed slabs in the Temple of Vukar. I'm going to showcase that in a second. So we're now allocating these obsidian slabs here. There's a lot of ghosts going around, so this one was slain by the Flame Devil. That is the reason why there was no body to bury, and that is why we had a ghost. So, slain by the Kea, there's just... How did that come together? Well, oh, what is that I see? Ah, well, they're fighting in the water. Some of these Alm people still are there. I am somewhat afraid that this entire layer here is filled with these creatures. I mean, technically, we could create a ginormous cistern and just drain the whole place. Possible, but not what we're after. So, since this is all going down now and it takes its time, there's also gemstone burning here, which is an outright tragedy. I figured that we had to begin our work down here as well. So by the time now I have finally completed my work, and as you see here, this whole thing goes now all the way upstairs. By the way, if I scroll too fast, sometimes the visual effect occurs that it looks as if I have missed a level with the placements, but it's all fine. I hope. At least, as you see there, this thing goes really all the way up there, so... I finally made it. This is the level where we will pump the magma somewhere else, but this also brought me now to the problem that we need power to get that whole darned thing running. And that's where the fun will begin. So, I figured that it's really about time that we consider how we do our whole weapon thing. I mean, we'll be pumping the magma from here to... I don't know where. Seriously not. Let's just assume that it's going to flow somewhere down that way. And we can dig out what we want from there. But this also brings me to the problem that we need power for all that. So I figured we're going to do the power sourcing from one layer up above, as I feel like this is one of the easiest ways to do so. And since I want to let the weapon spit its fire into the forest at some point, I think we will have to construct this entire thing somewhere around here. It's gonna be a real big thing until it's done. We're we're done with the first 20% or so, in my personal judgment. Anyways, power production. I need to experiment with this brook. We're going to pipe off some of that water, and we're going to let that stuff go past this pot here, and here I want to produce a lot of power. Hey music, why did you die? So there it goes. So this will be where we produce our power, and that power will be then transmitted into the pump stack. So far, so good. I don't really know how well that'll work, in all honesty, so this is going to be a really, really exciting pet project here, and the most important thing is that it has to be secluded from the rest of the fort. It's really, really important for me that we get this done in a manner that it is not possible for us to flood the fort accidentally while we're doing this. Okay, I take a width of 5 out of a simple reason. We want a area where we can walk past by. I think we need to. I don't know if this will be sufficient. Maybe we need to go a little bit upstairs too. Well, I'll see about that. So we're going to do the engineering, like we're going to pipe off the water from the brook there, and then we're going to let it flow past here. But the most important part is that I want the water to flow off of the map here again, as I really think we do need flowing water for the water wheels to actually work. I'm not 100% sure about that. So we'll see how that'll work or not. Okay. So let's see. This does get us, though, into conflict here. So that won't work out like that. Although, no, it does work. It does work as the... Well, probably I will relay it like this. It seems as if we need that corridor here. Dang it. I'm already planning to narrow, am I? Well, the basic idea here is quite simple. I want to excavate it here then like that. That's why I think here we will need a wall at this point. But it should still work. I mean, worst case scenario, we can also pipe off the magma into this direction. There's plenty of ways that we can't get this done. There should be enough room for that. Okay. So let's check back with the Adamantine mines. Here we have already the first case of magma being on a level where it can actually evaporate. Down here, the things are a little bit worse, as this cavity here, check it out, goes all the way downstairs. So it goes even so far downstairs that we spotted our first Adamantine here. So that's how far down it goes. Which is really good news in all aspects, but still we need to brave this level somehow, as there's so many little magma cavities in here that we still cannot take control of. But tell you what, we're going to do a little bit of something here, and that's a couple of extra tunnels there, which will just give the magma more room to flow. And that is most of the time just what it takes to speed up the evaporation process by a lot. So we should also rip out that floor plate here. Maybe that one too. So pretty good chances of braving through this also quite soon. Okay, nice. Alright, so that's where the water will flow through. order it like that already? Hell yeah, I can. Nice. Alright. Let's just pray to Armok that these fools don't kill themselves with random cave-ins. If so, well, Vukar will welcome their tomfoolery. There we go. So yeah, here there will be water flowing past, so we need to wall this off. Like this. There we go. So, Azo Lordbrand, who are you? Another one of these humans, I suppose? Yeah. So, we're still not taking any humans. You guys still haven't brought us back or artifact, so we are not on friendly terms. How many times do we need to repeat it to these fools? They just come back, thinking that everything would be fine, but nothing is fine until our artifacts are back. Well, humans. So, there we go. It looks as if there's nothing terrible happening so far, but, well, we'll see about that. They're dwarves after all. So yeah, but it seems as if the collapse of those ramps is just not doing anything dangerous to them. Lucky me. Okay, we're at evaporation level at this point, so we can safely take off the designators here. Although I think, yeah, I want to keep that pit here. There we go. And here it is on evaporation level 2, so we can't take these down too. Nice. Alright. So somebody needs to rip out these plates still, but as soon as that's done, we're going to carve into staircases there, and then hopefully start our explorations down there. So, of course, the miners are busy these days with other things. So there's water. We obviously struck an aquiferous area here. Now, isn't that amusing? Well, I really don't mind. It's not much of a big deal. So let's fix these ramps back up. This will only provide a little bit of extra water for the entire thing. Not at all a bad thing. Alright. So the idea is that ultimately we're going to have water wheels hanging in there, just like that. And then we're going to transmit the power off and transmit it then eventually downstairs to the pump stack here. So we might be needing to climb a little bit of the forge area here eventually, but what gives? That ain't much of a big deal in it. Alright. So finally these tasks are being picked up again. It just is really a pretty demanding task all in all. Okay, I'm not digging any further here because there's a fair chance that we need to do things differently anyways, so we're going to leave it like that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carve my drain. That is the one thing that we want to do. It's going to be a pretty painful operation again because they're going to cancel their job time and time again because damp rock has been located, yada yada yada. We know the deal. But it is what we need. And then we got a nice pathway for the water to follow through. And I really hope that this subterranean water thing will do its trick, you know. That is really a fond hope of mine, because we really do need it, you know? We really, really do need it. So, we dig a ramp here, and we dig a ramp there, I suppose? I hope that'll work. So these are the real fun things in Dwarf Fortress to do, to me at least. As this is where you can try around, do some engineering stuff, drown potentially your entire fortress while attempting such things. You know, the good things. That is also why there will be hatches on top of these. So we're going to make this place here waterproof. Any leakage that might occur here will remain in that tunnel system until we find a way to drain it eventually. So that's the gist of it. And I'm draining the stuff off of the map because, as far as I know, water wheels only provide power if the water is in motion. So if I'd be only piping the brook water down here, it would make a dead end here. I think that's how it works. But because I don't know, we're going to make an experiment by placing down a bridge in here that we can use to shut off the water excess entirely, or the flow capabilities of that thing, so to speak. And this way I can find out if the flow of the water is actually necessary, or if we can full on cheat and don't need the drain. It's just one thing that I want to try out because I'm just darn interested in how it works. In this game, this kind of information is priceless. You will have a darned hard time finding these information somewhere on the internet. You will have to look in forums and subreddits and whatnot to get that, because there's just so many things you can do in that game. Experimenting around and gathering your own data and making your own experiences where the late game fun is at. Alright, so speaking about late game fun, let's see how the things went down here. The gemstone is constantly catching fire again, poor thing. But apart from that, magma is reaching evaporation levels, so we just have to wait now. That's really good, because that means we can finally continue our adventures somehow. I don't know. It's a really tricky thing here. And we might be even needing to glass a little bit more of the floor here, as it seems that this corner here is also part of the deal. Seems like we need a door. Alright. Back to the safe space. Let's see how that ramping business went. So they got the ramp here, they got the ramp there, they got the ramp here. So that's really good news, because that means we can just continue like that. Another ramp goes there. And I put another ramp there. And then we obviously need to do something about the fact that this is not working out as intended. Dang it. Ah, well, alright. Would have been too easy, I suppose. Would have been too easy. Now, let's see. We're going to have to excavate it like that, because the other alternative would be to relocate our wine cellar. I disagree strongly with that idea. So that means we need to find the next best spot, and that will be here. So we need to open up a cavity here. There's no chance of not doing this. Wait a second. What the hell are you guys doing here? Stop! This is really not what we wanted to do. Alright. Good thing that I caught that before they slammed a hole into the wine cellar. Alright, so we need to wall this off up until... only there, eh? Very, very narrow little thing. Yep. So... and after that, we're pretty much already on surface level, aren't we? Nice. So, here goes a couple of ramps one more time. And then we need to construct another wall there. And then if everything goes down as intended, just need to smash open the floor like that, and it should be good-o. So what is it now? Uzul bracelets. So when this woman can't burn the forest, she wants more bracelets. One must pass his time somehow, I guess. Well, but I mean, this whole thing that we're building up here is a real big step towards the end game of this place here. As seriously, this will be the power production for the pump stack, and this footprint, if it works out, which I don't know yet, if it will work out that we can pipe the brook water through here, just like that, then well. We have a footprint that can provide quite a lot of energy. We can hang in so many water wheels alongside of that thing. That's going to get us somewhere. I mean, the problem that I see is the power transmission in some way, but, well, the worst case scenario is that we'll have to build some maintenance tunnels in here. You know, everything can be engineered somehow. Not a biggie. Not a biggie at all. Now then, back to the depths. So, I haven't forgotten about the door that I wanted to plant in there. There we go. So, the magma is starting to evaporate, I guess? There's a fire now here, so we need to quench it like that. If you don't pour water on these gemstone fires, these diamonds, they burn for seasons, if not years. I don't know what kind of diamonds these are, because they can burn that long, but it's just how the game's rolling. Alright. So, where do we want to get started? There's right another magma cavity right next to us there. Isn't that nice? So we're going to go and floor that place now. So there's no longer a direct threat to our lives to fall in there and all. And let's check back to the surface. So, there we go. Next thing that we need are a couple of pressure breakers. Because we don't want that water to flood our fort due to water pressure. So, you force the water through a couple of these diagonal things. This'll do the trick, I suppose. Let's make them double-sided, just to be sure. That should totally do the trick. Because we don't need the water pouring through here in any particular speed or anything. It's not what it's all about. It's just that we have a constant flow of water. Don't need more. Alright, so the drain is soon to be finished, I hope. Alright, there's already water building up here. And obviously it's time to put up the first laver. In this area there. So we can connect that to the bridge. Because I'm really curious to know if the game has a logical dysfunction, so to speak, or if you really need to keep the water flowing. Because at some point I had the impression that flowing water is just sort of a tag the game applies to water sources or not. Because I had an ocean on my previous fort that did not count as flowing water for the sake of water wheels, which felt like really weird. If you put a water wheel into the middle of the ocean, it should do something. But, well, not in this game. So we're doing some more water science here today. These things here will be smoothed and then fortified, and that'll allow the water to just flow through here off the map. It's a subterranean drain. And that should do the trick, actually. This should be all we need to pipe the brook down our hallways. We can now put a door in there. You know, maintenance and such. But that thing can now safely be connected to the brook. Exactly. There goes. Not 100% sure how we're going to do it in the end. Just figured that. You know what? We're just going to do 2 doors. I tend to get a little bit super paranoid when it comes down to water working. Because, you know, if the brook would accidentally leak into the wine cellar, that would be round 0 for that fort. As the water could, from here, potentially flood the entire lower levels. But the city where the people are actually living at would be safe. So I think that's a good thing. Oh, look, our love god, or love god religion does want a proper grand temple. So finally we don't have only the goth god ruling over Firemind. Finally we have love and death. I think, no, now it's really goth, as it's only romanticizing death, but that creates the goth element. I don't know what we had before. A rotting male human dwarf resembling Vukar. That's what we had. I think we're better off now. So, alright. It's going to be a very exciting part for me to see whether or not that power generation scheme will work, because after that's been dealt with, it's basically merely a matter of plotting down pumps. You see? We did a really big step forward today. I didn't think that I'd get it done that fast. I honestly expected to take a lot longer for this, but this looks pretty tight. Especially I'm especially happy with that little pressure breaker here in between. Making sure that this shouldn't be flooding this place. Maybe we should add in another one of these constructions somewhere at this spot. I'll feel a lot safer like that. I don't know if it will work or if it will actually make that much of a deal, because we're very gently leading the water through this, but we're just gonna leave nothing to chance here. So we're going to put another bridge on top of this, so we can just do a safety shut off and let that entire business drain back. One of my miners is missing for longer. Didn't I already put up a slab to put his restless ghost to peace? You're not exactly telling me here any news, my friends. Anyways, so the magma cavities have dried up. Ah, that's finally a piece of good news. That means we can finally get ourselves a stairwell drilled down here. Oh well. Or tell you what, we're constructing one. There we go. That should do the trick. And then we're we're in business. So the next step will be, and that is a really, really long-term job. That's why I'm starting it right here. We're going to put the bucket brigade down to a new task into this vicinity here, because they can practically do a lot of pre-work here already, as this allows us here to just, yeah, well, you pretty much see what I'm getting towards there. All right. So, it's going to be next episode's business to start the whole channel thing. Really, really looking forward to its first joyride, I wanted to say, but I don't know how to call it. So here we have the drain completed. All right, so that should work. All right, my good friends, that's that for today. I don't have much more on my mind, or not much more time, I should rather say. So feel free to drop me your comments. Feel free to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode, so you can tell the algorithm that it can recommend this video safely to other people as well. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. There's lots of stuff that I put up each and every day, and I'd be super happy to have you. Apart from that, in the description box you'll find various links to my Discord channel, where you can find lots of like-minded gamers, my Twitch channel, where I stream each Sunday evening in the Middle European time zone, and of course, last but not least, there's also Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee as the best ways and means to support this channel. And a big thanks at this point to the supporters, and a big thanks to you watching this video up until the very bitter end. This is really nice of you, and I hope you had a good time. See you all next time, and bye-bye.